In today's news, Suella Braverman lashes out against the current asylum process, saying that simply being gay should not be enough to gain entry into the UK. Jeremy Hunt and the Conservative government are murmuring about scrapping the HS2 project. Free speech platform Rumble refused Parliament's request to cancel Russell Brand on their site despite allegations of sexual assault. Elsewhere in the world, a lone fisherman took on a Chinese warship as he enters disputed waters in the South China Sea, and the British coast will be battered by Storm Agnes, with winds reaching 75 miles an hour. Keep watching to learn the stories behind the headlines. The HS2 route from Birmingham to Manchester may be scrapped, as the government can no longer justify the cost. Jeremy Hunt, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, has said the project is out of control. According to a House of Commons committee report, the cost of HS2 has grown from an initial $37.5 billion when the project was first announced to anywhere between $72 and $98 billion. David Cameron, former Prime Minister and strong advocate of the HS2 project, emphasized the crucial role of HS2 in bridging the North and South divide. Grant Shapps, former Transport Secretary, pointed out that HS2 is not the be-all and end-all for the north of England, pointing out that the government had invested £22 billion on railway networks in the north since 2010. Suella Braverman sparked controversy by saying that simply being gay or a woman should not automatically qualify someone for asylum. In a speech to be given at the American Enterprise Institute in Washington, D.C., the Home Secretary would be advocating for a change in the asylum system, calling the status quo unsustainable. Under the current system, an asylum seeker only needs proof of discrimination, and Braverman will call for a shift towards proving persecution instead. A former movie star is rebranding himself as a free speech hero, as platforms such as YouTube has demonetized Russell Brand's channel with over 6 million subscribers after the London Metropolitan Police opened up an official investigation into Russell Brand's alleged sexual assault. 4 women who came forward in a documentary produced by Channel 4 and the Sunday Times has sparked outrage against the former BBC radio host with harrowing stories of harassment, grooming, and abuse. Brand has responded by concocting a narrative which portrayed himself as the victim of the mainstream media. On his YouTube video addressing the situation, the former MTV star accused traditional media outlets of trying to silence him. The free speech platform Rumble has backed Russell Brand after receiving and denying a request from Parliament to cancel him on their platform. A brave Filipino fisherman enters disputed South China Sea and is chased by the Chinese Coast Guard. The Chinese Coast Guard placed a barrier around Scarborough Shoal, an area long used by local Filipino fishermen. Local fishermen view this as a violation, as they were unable to react to China blatantly disregarding international law. The UN Convention on the Law of the Sea states that a state has jurisdiction over the natural resources 200 nautical miles off of their coast. The disputed territory is over 500 miles away from the Chinese mainland, but only 150 miles away from the Philippines. The UK is at threat of flooding as Storm Agnes batters Britain with 75 miles an hour winds and heavy rains. The storm is meant to arrive in the UK today and will bring with it heavy precipitation and winds of up to 75 miles per hour. A yellow wind weather warning has been issued by the Met Office covering Scotland, Northern Ireland, the West Midlands, the north of England, the southwest of England, and Wales. The storm could cause power cuts and disrupt rail travel. Storm Agnes will be especially powerful in the Irish coast, prompting the Royal National Lifeboat Institution to advise staying away from the water and cliff edges.